I know that craft beer availability could be seen as a negative to home brewing just because of the fact that it is around and it's available, easy to get. But I never think of it as a bad thing because our craft brew, I guess it's a little bit of the chicken and the egg, because does it's the home brewing community spark and inspire the craft brewing community, or is it the other way around? I think that it isn't defined, it's just constantly shifting and changing. So all of a sudden home brewers start doing something that they think is, just completely awesome and loving the beers that they're making. They start chatting about it online. Breweries, so many brewers are still home brewers. They want a break from doing their upscale production, and just to throw down a 5-gallon batch is something crazy as well. So I don't see it as a negative. I think it's going to continue as breweries continue to spread and open up, find new brewers there, and home brewers become new brewers. We're going to see home brewing continue to follow trend and keep going up as well. There's so many different levels of home brewing, and it really depends on how much you want to put into it. So we do have those people that have maybe just stepped their first steps into craft beer and want to give it a try and give it a go. But then there is the old school brewer that is going all grain. They only need a couple sacks of grain or some hops. So to keep that relevant for everyone and across the spectrum, freshness, we concentrate on making sure that our ingredients are the freshest that we can get. The supply chain is something that we control as tight as possible, just to make sure that we know where the ingredients have been and how they were handled, so that those brewers that only need some ingredients from us, they can count on us for the freshness to make great beer as they've done it for a long time.
I feel really fortunate to have Northern Brewer have a brick and mortar store here. I can brew on a whim. I used to have to wait for ingredients. I used to live in Columbus, Ohio. They have some, local homebrew stores there, and I was able to get some grain. I was able to get some liquid yeast, but for the most part, I started ordering things online, and I'd have to really plan out my brew day. I love being able to come in here. I recently just brewed 22 gallons on the club system with another club member of as close as we can, a traditional Berliner Weiss. We're doing symbiotic pitch of lactobacillus and German ale yeast. That was really fun, and he's going to be putting some, he put in some Clarity Firm to just try and see one batch with Clarity Firm, one without. His wife is gluten intolerant, so he's trying to figure out an option for her, because there's actually not a lot of commercial beer that she likes that she can now, still drink.
The new brewer wants simplicity, wants to kind of start that adventure. So we need to make sure that our instructions are crisp, clean, clear, so that they can make a great beer that right out of the gate. We have a kit guarantee, so that hopefully the hurdle of what if I screw up is knocked down, taken care of, and not a concern. And then our customer service team and our retail teams, we hire brewers, we train brewers, we try to keep learning so that as we develop, we can help customers develop and make sure that if you have questions, somehow Northern Brewer is going to get you that answer. We've got the great video series. We're doing the Northern Brewer University that is really delivering a lot of these key steps and how one way to make a great beer. And then we're going to expand that and show everyone how to use those other ways to make great beer as well.
I'm a co-president with a fellow member at the St. Paul Homebrewers Homebrew Club, and we, before COVID times, we were meeting monthly and giving each other feedback on, what you're making, giving each other different ideas. It's been great to have that, immediate feedback from people, and also just educating each other or just inspiring each other to just keep going with the hobby. I've really appreciated too, just some of the knowledge that those people have had, for my time, and they've really seen kind of the trends, and they've been able to tell me like if something in the beginning, when you're looking for all of this information and you're looking at, online forums, you don't know what is good information or bad information. And it's been really nice to have, that club verify what advice you should be following.
There are so many different streams and avenues and resources to get that information. So the downfall of that is the intimidation factor that happens when a new brewer is starting, or maybe somebody that's brewed a couple batches and they start exploring the web and they find these videos, they find different blogs or just resources that exist, and it's that piece of there are a lot of different ways to make beer, but helping deliver a consistent way to make great beer is our mission. And so staying relevant and giving them information that can be trusted and in one source and in one space, that's an important piece for a northern brewer, just so that you can contact us, and our message about how to make beer is going to showcase those different ways, but also really guide anybody that needs it to find the way that works for them. We'll stick around. People will continue to do this because it's not a dying hobby by any means. People love beer. Beer never lets you down, right? So it is definitely something that we expect business to continue to thrive over time, and hopefully we can be a part of those homebrewing adventures.
And the goal is to get as many homebrewers together in one place to brew beer, and it can be whatever beer they want to brew, but the Homebrewers Association encourages 2 or 3 recipes every year.